Hi you guys, now this video is for those people who want to switch out their elastics but don't know what to buy because of how it reacts differently. This is a good one.
Hi YouTube.
Hi you guys, welcome to First Time Fishing with me, Big Bird. Now, we've come to Al's house. Say hello, Al.
Hello.
And basically, I need an engineer because there's something that's been playing on my mind for quite a while. If I want to switch my elastics out, do I change a 1.6mm for another 1.6mm? Well, I did that with the Matrix Slick and the Duraslip from Preston. Completely reacted differently to each other. And it's confused me because if you do want to switch your elastics out and you want to be trying other stuff, but you know what works at your local fishery, then we need to know what's similar in each brand. Some say they're a size 8 to 10, some say they're a size 10 to 12, but do they match up? Do they have the same sort of play in the elastic? Well, I've been and bought 400 quid's worth of elastics. So let's find out. Let's give you the lowdown of exactly what the plan is. So for all of these elastics that are here, I've put them all out in their diameter. Okay, so we've gone from 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8, 2, all the way up to around about 2.6 mils that you'd be using, you know, for massive carp in the margins, really. I basically just bought every brand that was available in the shop. So we're short of a few, but we will get an idea for how different brands react. So what we're going to do, and the old man's come up with this, and it is genius. What we're doing is we're cutting 20 centimetre strips. And then what we're doing is we've put a knot at 0 and then a knot at 20 centimetres. And what we're going to do is attach a Dacron to our either end, and then we're going to hang it from something that's outside, which is genius again. And we're going to actually hang a weight off of this elastic. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to be hanging this up, and we're going to see exactly how far the elastic comes down to see the true representation between all of the different size in millimetres and etc, etc. You can see why I needed an engineer for this. So outside, what we've done is we've actually put this bed here. Right, it's a single bed. We've stood it on its end, and we're actually going to put some wood up here. We'll hang this elastic from a hook, and then what we're going to do is attach weight to the bottom, and we're going to see how far down it stretches. It's quite simple. We're going to mark out every single elastic, and then we're going to put it all into a table at the end. So if you just use Matrix Slick elastic and you want to maybe go, let's go and try the Duraslip, or let's go and try the Dura Hollow, or something like that, you know what the equivalent is for your Matrix Slick. I hope you get it. Anyway, let's just do an example with what we're going to be doing with this one, and then we'll crack on. Okay, Al, so this is what you've come up with. This is what an engineer does. You've constructed this, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so it's a bed.
Okay, well, it's a bed that's been thrown away, but for this exercise, it just suits. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a 20 centimetre piece of...
It means elastic. So we're going to use a 20 centimetre piece of
elastic. We're going to hang it on the hook, and then we're going to put a ½ pound weight, and then we'll see how much it extends. It will show. So there we are. So now what we can do is we'll mark the paper.
And we're going to mark it where the elastic is, yeah?
And we'll mark it where the elastic finishes.
Okay.
So have you bought the pins?
Yeah, the pins are inside. So we're going to mark it, and we're going to do this with every size, yeah?
So we'll benchmark all the same sizes on the same hook.
Yeah.
And then we'll move across with thicker elastics.
Yeah.
And at least you'll then see what elasticity you've got within the same thickness of elastics.
It's all a bit complex, but it should create a picture at the end of it where we're able to see that if you normally use a 1.2 mil slick matrix elastic, what the equivalent is in other brands. So let's crack on. It's gonna take a while. Right then, there they are. we've got some Frenzies, we've got some Preston Dura Hollows, we've got the Preston Hybrid, the Solid Core, we've got
Hollows.
The Matrix Slicks, haven't we? We've got the Maver Tri-Cores, some Duo Cores,
MAP Hydros.
the MAPs, hybrids, yeah. So basically, it's time to accumulate all of this onto a graph so you guys can see what reacts the same as the current elastics that you use, in case you want to change them up and try other stuff. So there's been some interesting finds, haven't there?
Yeah.
Even two different sizes of one mate that have actually fallen the same. We'll go to the garage, we'll discuss it more, and I'll try and accumulate that graph together. But thanks for your help, pal.
I'll remember you though. The bed.
Are you going to go and put it back in your bedroom?
No, he's got to go to the tip tomorrow.
He's good, isn't he? Right, back to the garage. So, what a time we had testing those elastics out. I know that we haven't got every single brand that is possible, but in order to do this, we've had to spend £400 in getting the elastics in. Now, what would be useful is adding to this list of elastics and adding them to the actual graph, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So let's just get all of the data into the graph. Right, as you can see here at the top, at the top up here we have diameter. Okay, so this is the diameter of the actual elastic, and then down the side down here we have the elastication strength, so what the dip was when we hung the hammer off the 20 centimetre strip of elastic. We double check, we triple check the distance of the elastics, always at 20 centimetres. As you can see from the table, it doesn't really make much sense when you look at it like from this perspective. So I've tried to put all of the different manufacturers in the same colour down here. Okay, so as you can see, the easiest one to see are the Matrix Slick elastics, which are in the Matrix green colour. And as you can see, they slowly step up, which you would expect from an elastic. But if you have a look at the Browning Hollow, which is just in the middle, which is in brown, you can see that the 1.9mm elastic had a shorter fall than the 2.1mm. I don't know why. From the data, you can see if you were using an 8 to 10 1.6mm MAP hybrid, which is just around about there, around a 75 centimetre drop, it's in that light blue. If you want the same reaction, you can go for an 8 to 10 in a 1.4mm of slick elastic. So it's quite hard to read at the moment, but what I've done is I've grouped the elastics together, so that if you want a similar acting elastic to what you are using, find your elastic on the list and then have a look into this next graph circle, and you can take any of those elastics and you should get a similar reaction to your elastics. Say that your shop doesn't have a 12 to 14 1.5mm slick elastic. You can go and use an 8 to 11 Maver dual core, because it reacts similar. Even though one's a 12 to 14 gauge, the other one's an 8 to 11, but they react the same. So let me get the next one up and things will become clear. Now, as you can see, I have grouped all of the elastics that are similar acting. Down the bottom here, you can see that we've got a 6 to 8 of the MAP hybrid is exactly the same, pretty much, as a Matrix Slick 6 to 8. But the other thing that it highlights is a 4 to 6 MAP hybrid reacts very similar to a 6 to 8 MAP hybrid. You've got a little bit more given it, but not a lot. But that 6 to 8 MAP hybrid that's down here is exactly the same acting as a Preston Duraslip number 5. There is a whole 0.2 of a mil difference in the elastic size, but they react the same. And that's the important thing here. We want to know that if you go to Tunnel Barn Farm and you're F1 fishing and you reliably use, you know, a size 5 of the Preston Duraslip, you can use either a 6 to 8 Matrix Slick, a 4 to 6, or a 6 to 8 of the MAP Hybrid, or you can use a size 7 Preston Dura Hollow. If you use one of these elastics that is on this list, you can go to the circle and you can select any of that range to get a similar response from that elastic that you're used to. It was confusing me. Do I switch out an 8 to 10 with another 8 to 10, or a 6 to 8 with another 6 to 8? But this graph clearly shows that there are massive differences across the board in the materials that are used. But hopefully, in spending that 400 quid, doing this experiment, if you go to your shop and you want to switch out your elastics and try something different, you know what reacts to what you're used to by using this table. So what I'd recommend you do is take a screenshot of this, keep it on your phone, keep it anywhere, and any of your shops that you go to, if they haven't got your size elastic in that you would have in a slick, you know what you can have in a Dura Hollow or a Dura Slip, and you can just have a look at the graph and know what's going to react the same. Right, so it's been one hell of an experiment, but I'm hoping that it's really, really useful for you. It's definitely something that I'm going to use now, because I do fancy using a Preston Dura Hollow, but it's learning how the Dura Hollow actually reacts in comparison to the slick elastic that I use. So what do I switch it out for? So I know that when I'm using a 14 to 16 slick elastic up here, I know that I can use a size 13 Dura Hollow in the Preston, because it's within that same grouping and it's got the same reactive traits. So I hope you found it useful. And, but let me know in the comments below what you actually think of it. We've done it quite controlled. It is how we've done it. It's not like been done in like laboratories or anything like that. It has been done on the drive, etc. But I'm quite confident in all of how they've reacted and how similar the elastics are in comparison to this graph. So let me know what you think. And if you like it, please hit the like button. And just remember, please hit that subscribers button and come and join the First Time Fishing channel. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'm so appreciative. And all I've got to say now is if you are fishing this weekend, tie lines.